Hello, everyone. My name is Rose Simpson. I'm a librarian at the New Haven Free Public Library, and welcome to Co-Create. We have our creative in residence, Nadine Nelson, and today's special guest is Teresa Joseph. Would you two like to introduce yourselves?
Yes, so I am Nadine Nelson, the creative in residence. I'm also the owner and educator um, of Global Local Gourmet, which is an interactive culinary education company. I am an artist and creative, and so I'm so happy to be doing this year, especially during this arduous time for many. It's great to be able to have the opportunity and support of the New Haven Free Public Library to create and um, engage and be joyful and play in a lot of different mediums. Today, I'm going to be collaging because Teresa, we are talking about the possibility of collaborating, and she does a lot about manifestation. And one of the ways in which you can manifest is writing things down, but also creating a visual representation about what you want. And since I've been trying to, on this journey, finish my vision board for 2021, which I have not done, I took it as an opportunity to be able to do that today. So, how do I know, Teresa? I usually say how I know people and how we're connected. And so, her partner, Chris Randall, has, and that it's her partner in life and work, and she'll talk about that. But they own the notorious PIC, which is such a great name. And they create experiential photographic experiences, which she'll talk about more. But Chris has taken pictures for me, both professionally and usually when we do the professional pictures, he lets me do some fun photos also. So he is a great person. She's a great person. You know, they have two lovely children, and they are very creative. She is very creative, and I look forward to getting to know her more and looking at talking about your creative practice. We're also two Libras, so it might get a little crazy, Rose. Rose is a Libra too,
What?
Teresa.
Yep.
She's a tame one though. Or maybe I don't know, Rose. I don't know you after dark, so I don't know. But um, Teresa and I are kind of out there. I kind of tone it down for the library as such. But if there's anyone out there on Facebook or wherever, the whole process of co-create is you can watch us create, engage in the process of creating. You can talk, you can get feedback, you can share your projects. But it's kind of like a very loose and fluid kind of environment. So I encourage people to participate however you want to. I also will be doing cards because I know that Teresa, I asked her beforehand if she was interested and she said that she was. So if anyone wants me to do their cards, I can do that too. So can you introduce yourself, Teresa? Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you for having me. I am Teresa from the Notorious PIC, as Nadine said. We create photographic experiences for people who want to tell a story, to celebrate or to change the narrative. And yeah, we put the emphasis more on photo shoots instead of using photography for milestones or things like weddings and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm also just creative in every other way. I love to write. I love to also pose for pictures. I love to get dressed up. I just have a lot of ideas. I don't know. I didn't think my intro was as good as yours, but that's what I have for now.
All right. Um, well, we usually ask people, like, what is your, creative journey? So maybe you want to, because I don't know, like, your creative journey or like how you grew up or all that kind of stuff. So, maybe you want to, talk about that to
My
start.
creative journey, I don't even know where to start. I mean, I'm still putting the pieces together. I mean, I can start from when me and Chris kind of got together. We kind of fell in love from doing a photo shoot together. That's how everything started. And from there, everything just developed. So we did I was married before and I'm divorced. So, but the thing is, I never had a wedding before. So one of the things I did was I'm like, I just want the pictures and the veil. Can we work something out? Like, let's, I'm like, let's just do a whole fake ceremony just for the experience and the pictures. And we ended up throwing in a week a fake wedding, and we had like 12 people attend. We had someone do a fake ceremony. We said we called it being joined in holy matrimony, and it was just like this awesome, amazing experience that our friends got to partake in. And honestly, it all started just from wanting pictures of an experience. So from that, we started realizing that why wait? Like, why do people wait for milestones? So we just started experimenting. We've thrown photo shoot parties. Like, we did a fishnet photo shoot party. So it was specifically for pictures. We had all our friends come and dress up with the fishnet theme. We also got dressed up as a kitty and bunny and ran around New Haven. And just people stopped us everywhere and they were like, take our picture, take our picture. And that's kind of how it developed, was just using photography to create experiences, whether it be through fantasy or a different reality, or that whole aspect of changing the narrative, which is like, let's say something didn't go the way you wanted it to, like my first marriage. Part of rectifying that was creating something more beautiful for myself. So it ended up being surprisingly therapeutic. So there's that. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, a little bit. You can answer anything however you want to. It's really up to you. The questions are open-ended. And yeah, you can really answer them however you want to. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Gaylordsville, Connecticut, which is a part of New Milford. If you know, like Sherman or Kent, like we're 20 minutes from Kent Falls. It was a really isolated town. We were like we were basically the only non-white family there. So it was very difficult growing up there. But yeah, it's really woodsy and not a lot of people. And
How did you get to New Haven?
oh gosh, New Haven. I was living in New Jersey and I met my ex-husband through the internet, and he lived in East Haven. So I came here to live with him. We got married and then eventually moved to New Haven.
And how do you like New Haven compared to where you grew up?
Oh my gosh. Well, put it this way, like I thought I hated all of Connecticut because of Gaylordsville. But living in New Haven, oh my gosh. I love it so much I tried to convince my parents to move here. They're like, no, we'll never move back to Connecticut. I'm like, no, you haven't lived in New Haven. It's completely different than our childhood experience. For my dad, I was trying to convince him. I was like, we call him Papa. I was like, Papa. I was like, they lived in Trumbull for like a year, and then they moved back to Virginia. But to coax him, I'm like, we've got Cuban food over here, an oxtail. He's from Panama. He's Panamanian. So it's really hard for him to get food that's close to what he had from his childhood and growing up. So, and he loved his food. So one thing we do have is versatility with food. So I love it here. Absolutely love it here. I love the versatility. I love the art. I love the people. I love the fact that you have downtown, which is a completely different vibe than like Morris Cove and on the beach, which is completely different than the whole Westville vibe. Like for me, is just very artsy, which is different from East Rock and where we live now, which is in Fairhaven Heights. So there's just so much to explore here. And even though I've lived here maybe 15 years, I'm still just exploring it.
And you live in Fairhaven Heights. You want to tell people about that? Because a lot of people have never been there before in New Haven. And I have to say that I I just moved back to New Haven 10 years ago, and I had never been there probably before. I've maybe been to Fairhaven, like to Ferraro's or down by there, but I'd never been to the Heights, and it's so pretty.
It is, and honestly, I've never been here until we moved here, so it's it's like I guess it'd be considered a hidden gem of New Haven. You know, I think people have a what's the word? Kind of like a what's that word? They just
A bias?
yeah, kind of. I guess they think it's maybe dangerous or I don't know, but it's nice. We love it here. You know, it's right by the river, which is one of Chris's favorite places to take pictures. We're a walking distance of the, you know, that view of the Quinnipiac Bridge.
Do you
Yeah.
like do you like Grand Pizza?
Grand pizza, like
Yeah.
grand pizza. Well, I'm a gluten free, so I'm like really limited for what I can do for pizza.
Oh, so do you go to Delania or what do they call it now?
Oh my gosh, what is it? 163, 1369. It's three numbers.
I'm like
It's in East Rock.
modern.
No, it's like called 369 or something like that, or 163.
I don't know. Nolo is the place that I was talking about. Nolo used to be they're the same owners of Delania, but they have gluten-free pizza and vegan pizza and all of that.
So I used to eat the gluten-free pizza at Delania, and then I started eating the one at, I think, I hope I'm doing them justice. I think it's called 163. It's so, it's, I think I've tried like their regular pizza when I would cheat, and I'm like, this dough is so good. It's just as good as the regular pizza.
Oh,
So, but sometimes like we cheat. We have Ziggy's right down the road, which is also really good.
I've never had them before.
They're
I
really
like Grand Pizza because like Grand it looks like for people who don't know, like Grand Pizza back in the day used to be on par with like Pepe's and Sally's. And then when the neighborhood was all Italian and when the neighborhood changed, then it became a neighborhood spot, but it still does pizza like in the vein of Pepe's and Sally's. And so it's really good, but has neighborhood prices. And it's fun to go get a pizza and then go down to the Quinnipiac River and eat the pizza and be outside.
I'm trying to picture where it is because when I knew Grand Pizza, it was like in East Haven, but that was a long time ago. If
Yeah, no, it's right at the end of Grand before you get to Quinnipiac, like a block, a big block away on the left-hand side if you're going towards the river.
I'm sure I know where it is. I miss the obvious.
They make really good soup.
Soup I could go for. Yesterday for National Pizza Day?
Oh, was?
No.
I had pizza.
It was a great.
I actually had pizza.
You did?
Yeah. It wasn't from a pizza shop though.
What was it like? You made it?
Yeah, I made it.
Oh. Okay.
As in baked it.
Like from the freezer?
I didn't make it from scratch. It was very good though.
I believe it.
It was very good. So why don't you talk a little bit about manifestation? Because that has been a theme of mine during my creative in residence. And how does, photography, how does that go with manifestation? And what are ways in which people can manifest what they would like for themselves?
Well, basically manifestation. I have a very deep relationship with manifestation. I have basically that the house I'm in right now is a product of a manifestation, pretty much. The relationship I have right now is a manifestation. ultimately, to me, so the same thing, like we're doing collages and we're doing vision boards and things like that. The whole part of manifestation is treating it like it's something you already possess. Treating it like it's something, so whatever it is you want to manifest, you want to do whatever it takes to embody that so that you can create the energy it takes to attract it to you. So the same way you would do that in like a vision board is the same way you could do that in photography, like what we've done, you know. So if you think of something that you would want to embody and experience, whether it's traveling, whether it's getting married, or just like embodying feeling like a goddess, anything like that, you basically can create that experience through photography. It can be from, like, I mean, think about the excitement you get like on a wedding day, you know, when you have your dress or you have your outfit and you get everything ready and everything's working up to the big day. Like, that's how I feel when I'm getting ready for a photo shoot, you know. And it's like, honestly, there's no limit. It's whatever your imagination can really pretty much come up with, you know. So that's how we use photography. Yeah, pretty much.
So how did you go about manifesting your house?
Oh my. So naturally, I do a lot of things, like I meditate, I practice the I ams and things like that. So I was already in that. So when it came, it was actually like a countdown. So we basically either had to figure out if we were going to buy a house, rent, and we had like 3 months to pull it off. We had like a 3-month rental, and we had to figure this out. So it all started with one house that I saw on a whim. And I saw this house. It was like just the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. It was a great price. We went to go see it. Something happened, like something aligned, like it was on the market like 2 months prior, and then it was off the market, and then it was on the market again the day I looked. So I was like, okay, this is a sign. I definitely have to look at this house. We went there, we looked at it. I had so many other signs aligning with this house, and I'm like, this is it. This house is meant for us. We went there, we envisioned living there, the whole kit and caboodle. The house was snatched up in like a day. And we lost it. I grieved. I was like, but this doesn't make any sense. I had all the signs in the world. This makes no sense. So I kept looking for rentals and for houses. And I'm like, we'll never find anything like this again. It was perfect. It was 3-bedroom. It had another room off to the side. It had a little deck. We're never going to find anything like this again. But before you know it, another house popped on that had everything the other house had and then some. So I basically, we went through this. It was this same experience. You know, they say like, try not to get attached so you don't get disappointed. It's like an impossible thing to do when you're looking for houses, because you have to envision yourself living there. Like, if this is going to work, I have to envision my family here, my life here. So basically, every house we went to, I thought was the one, and it always presented something more than the house before had. So it was almost like I was being taught, like, by the universe, like, no. You're not dreaming big enough. You're not dreaming big enough. So all I wanted was 3 bedrooms with an extra office/guest space. That's all I wanted. So each house made me dream for something newer and bigger. So by the time we got to this house, it has 3 bedrooms, an actual designated office, a completely finished basement with a shower and 2 exits, which has the potential for a rental. It's completely done. A huge garage that we want to convert to a photo studio. Huge backyard with a pond, a patio, and a porch. Like, it was just, I was dreaming. But the whole thing about manifestation is when you start believing you deserve something, I feel like the universe gives you like a return, but and then some. Like, it's more than you can ever envision. But yeah, that's that's how we got this here. And actually, there were, I think, 20 showings. There's 17 showings that day. The first day, there were 10 offers, and it came, and the realtor told me to write a letter. And I wrote a letter, and basically a whole thing of what I envisioned for this house. And it was because of that letter that we ended up getting this house.
Beautiful. I have a picture of Ben Harper. Do you know Ben Harper?
Is he the photographer?
No, he's a artist. He's a musician.
Oh, I'm thinking of someone else. What kind of music?
He plays alternative soul, I would say. It has a very much rock bent, but then he also does like old-timey, like he's done stuff with the Blind Boys of Arizona, of Alabama. I'm like Arizona, like the Blind Boys of Alabama. He's one of those like people, like he's kind of like Lenny Kravitz. He's like conceptual and you know, looks to his history, but also has very much a rock bent to him.
Sounds dope.
Yeah. So are you collaging? I don't know if I'm gonna collage. I'm cutting and sorting. So I'm getting a little bit better.
I'm trying, I'm remembering, I'm like, you can't, I'm like sucky at multitasking. So like I can either talk or it's hard to.
Do you think that's a Libra thing? Because I feel like it's, you know, like I tell people, like everyone, like people who really know me, they're like, oh, you're doing something else, because I can't like send email, or someone's like, they just want me to send a text message. And I'm like, okay, just wait 1 minute, because I can't send a text message.
On the phone last time. I'm like, are you trying to send an email right now? You're like, yes, I can't hide it. No, I'm the same way. I recognize it. That's why.
My younger brothers, they laugh at me because they're just like, oh, they're like 15 years younger than I am. And they feel, everyone, you know, that generation, they feel like they can multitask. And like, you're not really doing a better job. It's like, it's been proven that if you know, work on one task at a time, it's better than trying to do multiple tasks. So.
Right. Right. And I heard someone, I had this conversation once with somebody you probably know. And we were talking about ADD, attention deficit disorder, which I've been told I have, which I definitely do.
Can you just talk up a little louder, because there's so many machines that are going on here.
Okay. So we were talking about ADD, and he kind of like put a different spin on it. And he was like, I think it's more like attentive deficit disorder. And not even, he like took deficit out and everything. And he was just like, it's more about being attentive to one specific thing. Like that's what we're better at. So I always thought that was a cool spin on it. And I was like, okay, made me feel better.
And it is a new spin on something. So someone just came in here with a saw.
With intentions on using it?
On something, but it was just like they're just so like, it's like with purpose. They have this chainsaw in their hand. It's like, okay, what's going on in the
Did they make eye contact with you when they walked in there?
In the woodwork? No, like he just came in and he went to go in the woodworking room, and he's gonna cut some stuff up.
Oh snap.
You know?
So these are the two words I'm working on.
Self-love. And how are you working on that?
Oh gosh, it's an ongoing forever project. You know, I do it. I have a lot of rituals. I do, I have one journal designated for gratitude. I have another journal that is specifically for dreaming, desiring, and manifesting. I have another journal that's specifically for journaling. I also have meditation rituals. I'm very disciplined with exercise. I kind of equate that with self-love and exercise. I mean, self-discipline and self-love. Just a lot of things, from getting dressed up and taking self-portraits, make selfies sound a little fancier, give them a little purpose. But I find a lot of it's kind of like a self-exploration thing in the whole self-portrait arena. But I'm also doing it to practice posing, so I can help people pose and redo pictures and stuff like that. But music, you know, I play the ukulele a little bit, but mostly I sing. I play the piano. Yeah, just things like that. Reading. I listen to a lot of TED Talks and just anything I can get my hands on. Like, I listen to a lot of just like, I don't want to say gurus, but like, you know, I listen to Russell Brand and Esther Pearl and Jason Silva, you know, a lot of Jeff Brown. I try to get my hands or my mind on material that feeds me in different facets, but mostly spiritually. What about you?
So what is an experiential photographic, moment that you are cooking up to do when it gets nicer outside, for instance?
Oh, well, I have a couple, but one I'm thinking about doing is like, it's a 1950s theme. It's actually based on like a meme that I saw about being a good wife. And just the whole expectation of perfection and all these other things that go with being a woman or a good wife or a good mother. And basically I want to do this thing where it's kind of like a 1950s theme. You got the whole dress, you're in the kitchen, you're making the meal for the husband who's at work, who's going to be coming home, everything's perfect. So I want to have this part where you're kind of embodying this perfection, almost in a way you're mocking it. Like, let's embody this for a moment. And then I want there to be like a lot of different items, but especially a cake. So at one point when we're going through the process, she's just going to rip off the dress and have whatever she has on underneath, like whatever her real clothes are. And then just like go ballistic, but start like smashing the cake. And it's kind of like a whole smash the patriarchy, smash the cake, and smash yourself in the end, really. And like the whole thing is just, it's just kind of like, what do I want to call it? Almost like a ritualized ceremonial experience where you get to embody the one thing, and then you get to embody the real thing. There's like, never mind. I'll touch on that later.
What do your kids think about like what you do?
They think it's fun. I mean, they love photography too. So as far as the experiences, they haven't really been a part of those kinds of things. They've been a part of like the photo booth aspects, which they do love to do. Like as a customer, like they like to use the photo booths. I think they're also very inspired that we have a family business, so to say. But yeah, other than that, they don't express too many thoughts about it. They were really proud of the Sasquatch thing we did. You know, they always want to put on the costumes and walk around downtown, which we haven't done with them yet, but yeah, I think in a way, or I hope it inspires them.
What's the most out there kind of photo shoot that you've had, either for yourself or one of your clients?
I think the most out there, and I didn't want to call it a shoot, it really was the Sasquatch. it was just crazy. It was, it went viral. I don't even remember how much it was shared over, reached over 300,000 people or something like that. But yeah, that idea was actually because of the pandemic. Right when we were going into shutdown, I looked for a Sasquatch costume. So this has been in the works for months, but those things were out of stock. Like I had to wait months to even get it. So we had it sitting.
Why did you want a Sasquatch costume?
Because in my head, so basically when Italy went through it first, right? And then we were seeing all these things of like dolphins in the water. Like, look at all these creatures. They're coming back because we're stuck indoors. So I thought, wouldn't it be hilarious if like the Sasquatch thinks it's safe to come out now? Like, because we're all in quarantine. So that was the plan. But the problem was I didn't get the suit in time. So like quarantine was over by the time I got the suit. So it just sat in our basement for a long, and I got a good quality suit. Like I didn't get one of those crummy ones. So it was just sitting in the basement, and it was I was basically waiting for the second shutdown, because I'm like, oh, this will give us something to look forward to. It'll give us something to do. So a few months later, we just started to get into these weird date walks, me and Chris. Like sometimes we have to do these like ritualized things to make sure we do practice photo shoots together, or like do an activity together that we both love. So we had just started doing these walks where we go somewhere and do it, because we have to turn everything into a photo shoot. It's ridiculous. So basically, I always pick everything because Chris is so easygoing. But this one time, Chris came out, he's like, I want to do Sasquatch today. I was like, that's like a 6 a.m. thing when everybody's inside. He's like, no, I want to go 6, 7 p.m. when everybody's out in the middle of New Haven. I'm like, I don't know if I could do that. He's like, that's what I want to do. You're always wanting my ideas, and this is what I want. So, oh my gosh, he is like so excited, right? He gets all the stuff out of the basement. I'm getting dressed. I'm like half excited, half full of anxiety. I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing? We get in the car. I'm laughing because my neighbor and her boyfriend saw us. So she saw me dressed as Sasquatch getting into my car. And she just looked at her boyfriend. She's like, they're photographers. They always, like, she had to explain us to him. So then like we pull over downtown, and I had so much anxiety. I'm like, Chris, I haven't had a chance to embody Sasquatch yet. I don't even know what Sasquatch can do. I need a place to embody Sasquatch first. You can't put me out in the middle of the town. So we ended up going to Hill House Avenue, which is funny because these pictures show up at the end of the whole photo shoot, but this was actually the birth of Sasquatch. I don't know if you saw the pictures, but it was like me meditating on the bridge and doing all these like really spiritual things. That was basically Sasquatch being born in the sun. It was so beautiful. So once I had a chance to like be Sasquatch, then we got back in the car and we headed out downtown towards what's over there. I don't even know the name of the street. I think it's Chapel Street. And he was like, just walk. So I just started walking, and that's it. Like, turn heads everywhere. It was like, Dave, I know I looked confident on the outside, but on the inside, I'm like, what are you doing? Everyone is looking at you. But other than that, it was like, on the inside, it was the most exhilarating experience just to kind of like bring the town is already lively, but to bring this joy and bring this surprise and capture it for everybody and like pull this prank. It was just so, me and Chris call it one of the top 5 things we've ever done in our relationship. Like it took us a week to get over the high. Like it was just such a beautiful experience. And it's like, I want that for everybody. I'm like, I want other people to dress up and like walk downtown, not just me. I just can't.
And walk and embody Sasquatch.
It could be Sasquatch, but it could be anything. There's just such such a beauty to, there's a few elements. One is about being masked. There's such a freedom in being masked. There's an aspect of yourself that you can portray that you wouldn't be able to portray if you were fully exposed, kind of. So it's a weird combination of actually being exposed at the same time, because you're exposing a part of yourself that you wouldn't normally. In embodying Sasquatch, there was an animalistic primal part of me that had to come out to make this character come alive. In Sasquatch, there is oh my gosh, my dream come true. I'm a tomboy. Do you know how many times I got called dude? I was like, oh my gosh, they think I'm one of them. Like, all the guys were like, awesome, dude. I'm like, this feels good for my little tomboy self. Like, but it was just like, I can't even experience. How do I describe it? There's such, when you put on costume, you're freer.
You said when you put on costumes, what?
You're freer.
Yeah.
To be the part of yourself you may be more scared to do if you weren't in costume. There's a power in it. You know, and it doesn't always have to be good and majestic and goddess-like and princess-like. It can be primal and alien and like animalistic. Like, there's just something about giving stage to the parts of you that are dormant.
So how do you like to work with this with your clients? What do you like, go through the process so people can understand what that is?
Well, I mean, we're just kind of starting out, so I haven't had anybody really embody this aspect of the business yet. Part of this business, the other part is the photo booth stuff, which more people have used. So as far as this aspect of the business, we haven't really had too many people start. We haven't even really marketed it yet. So this is kind of the beginning of that. But yeah, what I hope to do is I hope to do two things. One thing is create experiences for people like the 1950s things where people can just come and play the role and kind of embody this thing in them. But the other part is finding specifically what experiences people want to embody. So like, let's say it's a divorce, someone who's getting divorced and they want to, so I'm big on the faux ceremonies. So let's say they want to embody this whole, my thing is the faux wedding ceremonies. Part of the faux ceremony is to marry yourself where you are now. So it's just about helping people to get there and to feel free and what, you know, however they embody that. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Do you want me to do your cards now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm organizing my file better for I've sorted through, cut, and I don't want to start because I'll be stuck in the middle of doing it. I'm not gonna be able to finish, but at least I'm organizing it, which is a good thing. All right, I have 2 sets of goddess cards and I have some other cards. So I have goddess guidance oracle cards, or I have love your inner goddess cards. So choose one.
love your inner goddess.
I knew you were gonna choose that.
Let me see the outside.
Oh, they're really cute. And I like the artwork. The artwork is really nice. I'll show you the artwork.
That is beautiful. Wow. So you designed this?
No, I have another set, 2 other sets I did design. I'll show you those.
Okay.
Look, Teresa.
Oh, wow.
So they're really pretty.
Beautiful. And they're big. Let me see. They're like jumbo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, so I'm gonna shuffle them. You'll see me shuffling them.
Okay.
I'm gonna put out some amethyst and I just rub them against the card to, one card just fell out, so it said Queen of Hearts. So you're a Libra and Venus rules Libra and rules the heart. So let's see what it says. Queen of Hearts. Your heart has been chosen by the divine to be a temple of spiritual light, an inner place where grace and healing can dwell. This is very special. A temple is kept clean and pure, scented with sacred perfumes of incense, made beautiful with our feelings of reverence and love for the spirit, kept uncluttered and spacious so that as much spiritual presence as possible can enter. When spirit enters and fills the temple of the heart, things of extraordinary beauty take place. Even the apparently impossible become possible. Clear your heart temple with forgiveness, gratitude, and love for the spirit so it can fulfill its divine destiny of being a sacred channel for beautiful divine grace. Spiritual guidance. This mind may believe it has got the power to rule, but in truth, the heart is queen. You are a true goddess of love, one who consults the heart for answers. You will courageously follow the guidance of the heart, even when the mind doesn't want to surrender to the call of the heart and fearfully lists numerous reasons why it is crazy and stupid and will end badly. You know that the doubt of the mind is no match for the power of the heart. As you continue to honor the divine wisdom of the heart within your own life, you become empowered by help others learn to trust and grow through one's love, guiding inner light too. You become a keeper of the sacred heart. The divine love of the sacred heart will protect you and guide you in the most extraordinary ways. All you need to do to receive this divine assistance is to keep honoring your own heart. Remember that the heart, it has its own way of attracting what it needs, of creating healing and new opportunities. Things don't need to make sense to your mind or to anyone else. They just need to make sense to your heart. You're already a divine queen, your heart aflame in passionate purpose. Stay true to your heart, wisdom, and you will change the world. Sacred ritual. Place your hands in prayer and say these sacred words aloud. My beautiful heart is queen, and divine love is king. Together, they rule the holy kingdom upon heaven and earth with harmony, grace, and joy.
Yeah.
Why do you
Sounds a
think?
little bit like me.
So that's why you thought you got that?
Huh?
Why do you think you got that?
Because it replicates me, especially the whole mind heart division. So wait, I guess I'm a little confused. I thought you picked it because it was my birthday, but you didn't pick it. That's what came out?
It just came out, yeah.
Oh. Oh, okay. Um wow. Yeah. No, it has a lot to do with my relationship to uh just listening to my heart, trusting everything that's within me, um, doubting it as well. Oh wow, wow! You're gonna have to send. Could you send that to me?
Yeah, I'll send it to you later. I'll send it to you in Messenger.
Okay, cool.
All right. And then I have
Nadine,
two
you
other.
actually have a question on Facebook. What's the name of the decks you designed?
Oh, so I designed two. I'm going to show you the cards that I designed. I have a set of affirmation cards. So they look like this. and I do these decks of cards. If you're from New Haven, Matt Fantastic from New Haven Games, or is it it's Elm City Games? It's right across from what is it? I'm like, where is it? Right across from Barhaven or Art Space. It's right across the street from Art Space. And so they're a game shop and they make games, and he makes games, like he makes card games and different, like physical games, but then he does a lot of programming games also. But there used to be a co-working space called the Grove, which I used to be part of, and they were also part of, and he encouraged me to make cards. And I have 5 decks. I In one of my co-creates, I have downloaded to move one of the decks. So I've printed out 2 sets, and then I have 3 sets that are prototypes, and then we'll see like how we can get the price down, so I can then possibly sell them as part of my art practice. So that's how I got into it. It's like, what is something that I can sell? Because I do a lot of large installations, and they're not something that someone's going to buy. It's something like a museum would buy. And then I do food art. And so unless someone's coming to one of my food events, I don't really have anything that's a quote unquote commodity. So these are affirmation cards, and they're based on our bodies ourselves. So they're based on like the feminine divine, I would say. And then I have flower cards. And so flower cards and florology was a language that was used in Victorian times, but other cultures like Middle Eastern cultures have used it. It's a way in which to communicate very sensitive things through symbol. So, flowers are symbolic of the feminine divine and feminine sexuality. So which reading would you like? And if someone on Facebook wants a reading, we can do that too. So would you like to
just described?
Huh?
For me, the last one you just described. Are you talking me?
Yeah, the flower cards? Okay.
No. The last ones you just described. Was that the flower cards?
Okay. Yeah, the flower cards, yeah.
All right. You have a comment on Facebook. That's pretty cool. They also said across from Barcade, I think in
yeah, I was like, what is that? I was like, bar, like whatever. It's like, it hasn't been open for so long. And yeah, I'm sad. But Elm City Games is open. I don't know if they're open for people to play games there, but they're open for people to take games out if you have membership and all that kind of stuff. And they're really great people. And if you like all different types of games, because they have like every game imaginable, it's a really wonderful place to go. And they're really good about teaching you how to play all these different kind of out there games that are far beyond Monopoly and War that I grew up with. So, okay, I shuffled, and then I'm going to spread them, and I'm going to run my hands, and then Teresa, tell me to pick a card for you.
Pick a card for me.
So you got Bachelor's button, single blessedness.
Say it again.
You got Bachelor's button, and it's single blessedness. I don't know what that means.
Single blessedness?
Yeah.
Should I know?
I don't know either. Because you're in a partnership, so.
I know.
Can you see?
Yes.
You want me to get a clarification card? Yeah, because I feel like that's not. Usually I'm spot on, but I feel like that card is. I got white jasmine, sweet love too. So hey, We'll go with that.
Okay.
Does anyone else want me to do cards while I have them out?
The commenter on Facebook, Alexis, did say florology deck for the win.
What Rose? I'm sorry.
Florology deck for the win.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so if you see the deck, I made them. I didn't realize that when you do font size, like number 6 is not what you want to do. So these are like a good prototype. And so when I print them out again, I'll make those bigger. I'll probably change the font. Here are the different flowers. That's like lavender. Bluebells. Someone's acting melodramatic in the background. Lilac.
We can hear them.
Yeah, he's laughing because he is being really melodramatic. So, you have to be like, we share. MakeHaven is a space that you share. We're all here together.
Where's the chainsaw guy?
He's in the there's a whole right behind me is the metal room. So you can do metal work and it's huge. And then there's another right in front of me is a woodworking shop. So I don't know, there's probably around 3 or 4 people in there doing woodwork. And we didn't really talk about MakeHaven, and that especially now in the time of COVID, it's a great place to come to because it's a really big space, and there are right in the space that I'm in, there are 4 people here, but you can have 15 people in here because it's that big. And then in the smaller studios, in the wood shop, I think they can have 8 people. And I think metal shop, they can probably have 5 or 6 people because all those spaces are really big. Earlier, I did a program in the kitchen, but in this big area right here, there are different communal tables that people can use. Someone's painting on canvas. There's a whole sewing area that, you know, people can use the sewing machines and all of that. I didn't know where I brought my I brought some brushes. I don't know where they went. So they have brushes and different things here that you can buy and be able to use. You can, there's smaller studios if you want to be able to create. So that's really great. And it's like a co-working creative space.
It sounds
So
huge.
yeah, it's huge. It's down, it's right across from Elm City Market, and it's down in the basement. And so it's a huge, it's like the former city hall, New Haven's former city hall. I don't know if people know 770 Chapel Street used to be the former city hall. And so it's a big office building, but they're all in the basement. So it's huge. So I feel great to be able to come here, and I feel safe because it's big enough that no one's on top of each other and spreading germs and stuff.
Sounds dope.
So how has COVID affected your business, and where do you see your business going in relation to COVID, and especially since the spring is coming up and stuff like that?
How has it affected my business? Oh my goodness gracious. Well, as you know, we started out more like with the photo booths, which is great. But for COVID, it's not so great. So, I mean, it's like even with getting jobs, it's hard, you know, because so we're higher risk. So, you know, getting jobs, it's like, oh, I don't even know if I want to go in there. So we kind of spun back to the original ideas we had that we actually didn't really put much energy into. So basically, we spent this time to kind of build and retransition from just photo booths to creating photo experiences. The other thing we're certified JPs, so we're going to start marketing for elopements and things like that. So I mean, there's still business to be had, but you know, as it gets warmer, you know, nobody's really looking to have these experiences out in the cold, which is fine. So you
Oh,
know,
you didn't get people when it snowed that wanted to be outside and be snow angels, or?
no, not really much of a market for the snow angels, but no.
I
So we're
kind of want to be a snow angel.
well, we can be a snow. You can do that with us. So I do.
I'd like to. I'd like to frolic in the snow.
I've had this idea as of yesterday, like literally yesterday. I thought it was going to be a snowstorm. I have this beautiful, gorgeous veil, and I was like, you know what? Next time it snows, I'm going to see who's around. Maybe Nadine, if you want to do it. I was like, I just want to go out and like let's be lost in the city with the veil. Like we're looking for love, but in the end, we just find ourselves.
Well, Chris did one in front of building English building market, where I have it looked like a wedding dress, but it was like actually lingerie, but it looked like kind of like a short wedding dress. And I
Yeah.
have this veil, and she does really beautiful windows. And so I think she had like all these snowflakes that she made and everything. So I'm in the window, and Chris had to go out in the street on Chapel Street to take pictures of me, you know? But originally I did that we did I glam panther. So I wanted to be a black panther, but like a glam panther. So like I have like a really nice shimmery pants and like high heel boots, and so it's like, you know, the glam version of the Black Panthers. And then I snuck in Winter Wonderland in the front window. So that was really fun. So I would do it, you know. I like to dress up. You know, like life is so boring now anyway that that you have to do anything that you can to like spice it up. I am risk averse, so taking pictures is fun, you know? So
Yeah, I have, and again, Chris being the photographer, I don't know if you saw, but a couple days ago, or the last snowstorm, again, we're doing our date thing. So it's like, what do you want to do for our date today? It was a snowstorm. Like, let's go out and take pictures. So I went out with the camera this time, which I'm still learning, but I was wondering, why do I wait so long to do this? I love photography. Like, it's so therapeutic. Like, that's my art. But I was like, this is a great pastime. This is like, and the other thing is like, we haven't been going outside at all. Like, it took the snowstorm and the activity to even get us out. So it just, I think it's just so easy in the winter to just isolate.
I know. Well, I grew up in Toronto, and so for the first 10 years of my life. So in the wintertime, I am used to, you know, growing up, I went skating every day. We had a skating rink. There was snow all the time. You know, there wasn't global warming, so there actually was snow most of the time. So we made snow angels and snow people and had snow
No,
fights, you know, and I'm trying to, you know, use gender neutral language.
now I'm getting it now, but I was like, snow people.
You know, I'm trying to stop saying guys, because I say hey guys all the time. And I'm trying not to say that. So to be more inclusive. And as a woman anyway, I don't want anyone calling me dude or guys anyway, but sometimes you get wrapped up. I say hey girl too all the time too.
Oh, I'm bad. I'm bad. And then like I said, the Sasquatch thing, I was like, dude, thank you. But yes, we do have to get better.
Yeah, because I mean, you always want to make people feel validated and feel seen, you know, and semantics are important, you know. I don't want anyone yelling and screaming at me if I forget, but I am going to try.
Right.
Um, so, what are some of your favorite things to do in New Haven to be creative? You know, you said that, you know, going out and taking pictures, but what are some of your other things that you like doing?
Oh gosh. I don't know. I like being just anything with people. But I don't know that I have another creative thing that I do. Like I like to partake in hearing live music, and like going to festivals, but like I'm not out there performing, and so my vices for art are writing and like photography and stuff like that. So I don't think there's anything creative that I do when I go out. It's more about being social, which I miss so much. But yeah, I love riding my bike. That I miss so much, which is not really creative, but it's
Yeah, I mean, I think that it is, it's a creative outlet. I went to a really good concert at Chris and Teresa's house. It was in their backyard. It was like wonderful. Do you remember that?
yeah, I do. I hosted it. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, oh my gosh, hosting, that's our thing. We love hosting events and hosting parties. So yeah, it was a house concert with Olive Tiger. She's a local musician who plays the cello. It was the cello. And Treya, who played
Area
the violin.
Lamb.
Trey, what was her last name?
Lamb?
Liam, right. Whose CDs I still listen to in the morning when I'm like cleaning my dishes. But yeah, that was such a treat.
Yeah, their voices were so beautiful, and being in your backyard, it was totally nice. And that was like a very New Haven thing to do. Very New Haven thing to do. If people don't know about New Haven, New Haven is a little earthy country, but within the realm of being very urban at the same time. So people call me earthy, but then there's the other side too, you know? So you're not making any artwork and I'm not making any artwork,
Oh my gosh.
you know?
I'm picking words.
But I feel like this weekend, I am totally prepared and I want to come back next Wednesday to show Rose my finished product.
I just
except for my cooking programs, like Rose is like, is Nadine gonna finish anything?
All I did so far is pick out words.
Realize I'm working. It's like I get up in the morning and I work on stuff, and then I'm gonna come in May and I'm gonna be like, I worked on all these things along with all the other things that I presented as creative in residence, and here it is all now. That's what I'm waiting to do.
We're all waiting to see it, Nadine. So chop chop.
I'm trying to plan, like the June with my ending. Like I wanna have a marching band. I wanna go down Chapel Street. I wanna, go through the green and have different outfit changes. So
sounds up my alley. Sounds like something I would do.
Well, the pictures that you took at your party, like last year, you too, someone made a rain stick. They had a piece of wood and then they just finished and it was hollow. And I wanted to kind of put them on, I didn't want to put them on the spot though, but it's really cool what they made. And they brought lentils and rocks and some other things to put in there. And then they just closed it up. So, like those rain sticks that you buy, but she made one. So that was really cool.
Wait, at my party?
No, I'm convoluting stories. So almost a year ago to this day, they had another party. It was the kickoff of your new business.
It was a launch party.
There was a launch party of Notorious PIC, which if people are not pop culture in the know, that Notorious, BIG, which is Biggie Smalls, that's how they play on words. So they had their launch last year it was like I think it was February 10th, maybe.
It was February 1st.
Okay, February 1st, because like the pictures. Yeah, because the pictures came up in Facebook and it was so much fun. First of all, it was like really random people from New Haven. It was a really great mix. And they had a photo booth set up downstairs where you could just take, so describe what your photo booth kind of scenario is, because it's really cool.
Okay. So the booth you're talking about is the mirror booth. It's a full length mirror. It's touch screen. It's got like everything on there. You can do GIFs, pictures. It uses a real camera. So we're really prissy about it. It takes like really nice pictures that again, you can have printed, but it's this super dope experience. And then we have the second booth, which is, it's the Aura, which actually I didn't know was so dope until our launch party last year. Do you remember playing with it in my dining room?
Yeah.
So we're so hype about the mirror booth, and it's amazing. It's high technology. There's AR technology, like you can
exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
You can have, so basically it has the technology where you can remove the background. Like you don't even need a green screen. It removes the background and replaces it with whatever we program in the computer. So we had like all these backdrops from Chris's iconic pictures.
Yeah.
We created a family photo bomb where we staged the family picture and you could pose next to us and like bomb our family photo bomb. But that mirror booth can also actually, they have this technology, and I'll use Santa as an example, but they can actually have Santa walk on the picture and stop, and you pose with Santa, and then he walks off. Like, it's just like amazing technology. But so that's the mirror booth. But then you have the Aura booth, which I was like, it's okay. But until we had our launch party, I didn't realize how fun it really was in live action, because it does the GIFs, it does the boomerangs, it does all these special effects where you feel like you're in a music video. We spent most of the night on that. Like, we spent an hour straight where just a group of people were playing with that, and people in the room were having enough fun just watching the entertainment.
Yeah. So that's like, it's really, really fun. And like the AR backgrounds, like they have, if you're from New Haven, they have the Q Bridge with all the lights on there. They have Chris's, like, he does I Love New Haven. And so that's a website that has photography pictures, him and other photographers, but he is the main one, where different pictures all around New Haven. And so they have like New Haven's called the Elm City. So a picture of like the whole beautiful landscape of from, I think it's probably from East Rock, all the beautiful elms that you can see from there. But they programmed it with different places all around New Haven. I have one that says Queen, and I'm on the Q Bridge. I'm on the Q Bridge. And then I have one where I turn around, I'm like, I'm the turn up. It's like, it was really, really fun. So in the future, people should put in their budgets for them to be able to have this kind of interactive experience. I went with my friend Nikki, who has done a workshop, and Teresa knows, and it was really, really fun for us to take pictures together. So yeah, I looked at those. I was like, oh my God, like the wind down between now and I had a gallery opening on March 6th. And then 1 week later, that's when we went into lockdown. So it's funny seeing all these pictures on Facebook to be like, I remember when we used to go out. I remember when I used to dance.
I remember like the old people now. Like, I remember when back in the day.
It's like, what was the last concert you went to? It's like, we're gonna be like, what was the last concert we went to?
It was so funny because for us, we just threw our launch party. So we were ready for like all these parties. And that party was like eye-opening. So don't forget, that wasn't just a launch party. It was we also did an art show. So we had some local artists contribute their art, one of them being Nikki, and a few other local artists. We encouraged other people to bring their form of art. We had one artist who made t-shirts. We had another one who did hats. We had another one who was like a performance art. So he brought like his brochures and his business cards, but we ended up turning it into a business networking party.
Right.
Almost all our friends are entrepreneurs and artists. So it was such an experience. I was like, wow, we have such a community here.
Yeah. You guys do a good job of creating community and making people feel really good. And you have a good range of friends that in New Haven, it can go lots of different ways in regard to cliques and tribes and cults. I won't talk about the cults today, Rose. Um, uh, I don't want people from Westville feeling like I pick on them. And being that I really love Westville. So it's like, as much as I say all of that anyway, it's like the place that I hang out most in New Haven next to downtown is Westville. So,
I'm intrigued.
huh?
I said I'm intrigued.
Well, I joke around with people from Westville. I say that they're part of a cult, and they don't deny that. So it's like a running joke, you know. Um, but I went to Camacho. I don't go out to eat very much because we're in a pandemic. But I did go to Camacho this weekend, and I think it's like the second or third time I've been there. And that food is so amazing, and their drinks are really good too. So,
There, I've never eaten.
pardon?
I've never eaten at Camacho. We did
Oh,
get
yeah.
last week though. That was so good. What do they
It's
serve?
pardon?
What do they serve at Camacho?
Oh, it's Mexican. It's Mexican. It's high-end Mexican, nouveau Mexican.
I think it's
So
styled after like street food.
yeah.
Oh, sweet.
So I had shrimp ceviche and oysters. I love oysters, and they're the same owners from Shell and Bones too. So um, I love oysters. And I always feel like in New Haven, there's not that many places that have them, and we're by the water, so that always seems strange to me. And Connecticut is one of the places that has really good. They're known for their oysters, so I like oysters. So that's what I had, and the ceviche came with fried tortillas, and I had a drink with hibiscus, I believe, and then another drink. I can't remember.
What was the occasion? It was just
I was in Westville. I went to get my hair done. It's the second time I've gotten my hair done during the pandemic. And I was like, I'm out. I don't really go out outside of going to the supermarket. And I said, let me just go by myself and go have a couple of drinks and have someone cook for me where and serve me where I don't have to do it for myself.
I get that.
And it
we
was wonderful.
we don't like so we haven't gone in any restaurants. We'll order and we'll do curbside pickup, but I can't wait to just simply sit in a restaurant and eat and just enjoy being out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I can't wait for the spring because at least, if we have to be in lockdown to be able to go outside. I just can't wait to see like the budding magnolias and the lilacs and stuff like that. I can't wait to go outside and to be outside for more than a couple hours where it's not so cold,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, to like live outside.
Hmm?
To like live outside. I love the spring and the summer. I can spend 4 hours out. I can spend all day outside.
What are your favorite I know you like going, it seems like you like going to the beach.
I
Do
do.
you like the beach a lot?
I do. Funny enough, I can't swim.
Hmm?
I
Oh, you
can't.
can't swim?
No, but I love the beach. But yeah, so what's the question?
So yeah, like it seems like you like the beach or you like, going by water. You do a lot of pictures there.
Yes. I like anything outside. I love going on hikes. I love walking. I love the wood. I grew up in the woods. So, like my heart is for the woods for the most part, but yeah, anything. But it's funny. So like when me and Chris get into our like, hey, let's go for a walk, my go-to is always downtown. I think it's because I'm just drawn to where people are and more about where people are and less picturesque. He will want to pick the beach.
Mm,
When it comes to like spending time with the girls, they're more so they want to go to the beach.
yeah.
But me, I want to ride my bike. I last summer I rode my bike down to Worcester Square Park like every other day, which I miss so much.
Yeah. I love Worcester Square and going to get a pizza from like Pepe's or Sally's and eating it on the green there. I love that. That's one of my favorite things to do. I
I
can't wait to do that. And then to see like the cherry blossoms, you know?
I know. That would be my routine if I wasn't gluten free. But I just, if I bring food, I have to pack it, and it's got to be. Me and Chris will do like there's this other card game that we play. It's like for couples. It's like it asks you just like any range of questions. It's supposed to like spark and inspire connection and all these kinds of things. So we'll like pack a few of the cards and we'll ride our bikes and go have a picnic down there and do something like that.
Nice. Nice.
But they're used
I
to.
think I'm gonna end a little early today because I can not hear you that well.
I'm sorry.
And we're both not creating art. Um, but why don't we like end with like I said like I would love to like collaborate and do some dress up things, and you know, even if things open up in the spring to be able to like offer things to other people. So what do you what could that look like to you?
You mean like the actual thing that you want to create?
Yeah. Or like, I mean, just like us collaborate, like where do you see it? Like, cause you know, like I said, I love that, you know, bringing the idea of dress up, because people feel like, oh, only kids should dress up. But, you know, like the seriousness is embodiment. And like what you were talking about at the beginning is that when you want something, you really have to feel that you're in it, you know? And other people might call it like the vortex, or, you know, like even though you don't have it, you have to prepare your body and prepare your being for that before you get it. And a lot of people, they can't see that. And that's why that impedes like their ability to manifest, because what you talked about worthiness, maybe you might feel a sense of worthiness, but if you feel like a sense of imposter syndrome that, okay, I want to be able to, one of the things that I say about manifestation is like my installation, like one of my favorite installations, I want the Smithsonian, you know, African American Museum to buy it, you know? And so you have to feel like I was saying to someone about, you know, fashion and dressing, like think about like what is the dress I'm gonna wear at the opening, you know? Um and really feel that and really embody that and really connect with that whole, you know, feeling like what is the food that they're going to be serving at the reception, because that's going to be important to me, you know, like all those type of things. So, you know, you don't know when it might be coming, but if you are believing that it's coming, and if you're practicing and you're acting or whatever people want to call it, an embodiment, then it will come, you know?
Right. Yeah, for sure. I mean, so what I envision for something like that is just I mean, do you want the specifics of the details we had talked about, or
No, just like in general, you know?
yeah, geez, yeah, anything, ju- anything that you can tap into that can make you reacquainted with your own power, really. Whether it's putting on something, well, I don't want to make it seem so like putting on something that makes you feel sexy or that makes you feel confident. Confidence is the biggest thing. Anything that would inspire an atmosphere of joy. Um, yeah. Wait, am I answering your question? I'm sorry. I'm spacey a little.
No, you're out there. It's all right. On that note, we hope that we'll come together in the springtime and be able to provide some fun, interactive, photographic experiences for people in the future. And my whole thing is like I want to do something where people can dress up and like maybe do it at English Building Market or Fashionista, where they can play with clothes, because so many people, they're like, oh, I'm this way or I'm that way, and a lot of ways in which you can try on other ways of being is through fashion, you know, and thinking about ways in which you can dress to manifest, and also just have fun, you know, like, because a lot of people don't know how to have fun, and dressing up and taking pictures and with your friends and by yourself. It's like a really fun thing to do. And it's an escape, because, you know, like, we're living in some really kind of arduous times. Um, and we need escapes. It's all right to have an escape as an adult, because I think a lot of adults feel like that life is supposed to be painful and drudgery. And we only have one life to live. And I don't think whomever has brought us here wants us to live that type of life. You know, we should be able to find snapshots of joy and fun.
Yeah.
So. Any last words, Miss Joseph?
No, just thank you for having me on. I really enjoyed it. I always enjoy talking to you, and collaborating especially I look forward to. I just thank you for the time, and
Thank you.
And thank you for being here with us today.
thank you, Rose.
All right, so happy Valentine's Day.
Mhm.
You know, if you want to find out some ways in which you can celebrate Valentine's, we had For the Love of Chocolate. So you can look at that tape and learn how to make really good and easy chocolates. Rose, I have to send you pictures that we took yesterday. The chocolates came out really well.
Oh,
Actually.
good. I look forward to seeing them.
Yeah. And we have next week programs. I have office hours on Tuesdays from 12 to 2. You can check out the library website to make an appointment. I'd love to talk to you about your dreams, aspirations, whatever you're working on, and, you know, listen, give you tips, you know, resources. And then next week, Wednesday, I believe it's Ramin. Is it Ramin? I think it is. You can check out the schedule. We have another wonderful creative. And oh, we have Stir the Pot on Monday. And we have some really good guests. And you can register. You can go to Stir the Pot online, and it's on President's Day from 2 to 5 o'clock. We are going to be using food as a catalyst to promote empowering people to create action in their realms of influence. It's going to be really fun. It's going to be interactive, and have a great weekend. Be good to yourself. Love yourself. Be your own Valentine.
True that.
I don't know if the guy with the chainsaw is right in front of me right now. He just walked off. I was gonna ask him to come show it, you know. But all right, nice to be with you today. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Rose.
Good night.
Thank you.